This week on Ignore That Feeling, we talk about our beloved Queen. And the Queen was there, and for the rest of her life, my great granny said she was a
Periods. Oh my God, a woman was babysitting me and I thought I had my periods, but I think I just scratched myself.
Jesus Christ. And inspirational teachers.
And he would just pull the handbrake down of his car and he would say, right kids, push my car around the community centre and I'll time you. And we had hours of fun doing that. We would just push his car. Ignore that feeling.
So I went to St. James's Park to feed the parakeets.
Beautiful activity.
With my friend, the New Zealand comedian Ray O'Leary, yesterday. And I was asking him what his tour shows were like in the UK. And he was saying, oh, they've been good. Then he said, oh, I went to Newcastle and there was like a woman bleeding at 8 p.m. and people were drunk. And I was like, this is all normal. That was all normal for Newcastle. And then he said, oh, I had an unusual thing where my support act said to the audience, has everyone had a pee and a poo in the break? And I just was like, that's what we do in the UK.
And then
I thought how mad that is.
That we asked the audience.
Yeah, because he was like, I have never, ever seen someone say that. So he thought it was that specific act was just strange. And I was like, we do that. And that's mental.
Yeah, I do it all the time. Or like, because I'm doing like my tour at the moment and Big, by the way, available.
Yeah.
London, Leicester Square Theatre, 19th of June. But people leave to go to the toilet during my bits, and I have this really like gnarly, sad bit halfway through, and I always have to. I almost told there was a woman that went to the toilet. I was like, "You're leaving," and I'm gonna give a bit of context. It's gonna be really weird for you to come back, but like, I'll just wait for you to come back. So then she came back, and I just.
Oh.
I can't say it on this part. I fucked up. I shouldn't have talked about this.
Was it about rape?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
We're going to have to call
I know.
We have to call the podcast, I'm sorry that happened to you.
I know, no. It's like, I was going to do a vow, wasn't I? Not to talk about anything.
It's hard to ask your friends not to mention... But you know what? You never mentioned it before.
Really?
Well, for like 6 years.
On the other podcast or
no, the whole time I've known you.
I know, but that's why I'm getting in.
Now you're like, rape. I'm like, fuck it now. Come on now.
I think it's because I know I'm getting EMDR therapy.
Yeah.
I think
it's coming out because you mentioned it in a show.
I think it is, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
But I actually have said, tell Alison not to second guess herself so as not to hurt people because the number one podcast is by a war criminal. So you just do you ever?
You're right.
This is one of the things I've found most useful in my career. Is anytime I feel a lot of doubt, don't look to someone you admire. Look to someone you think is awful who has middle class confidence.
Yeah.
So that was what I did for my first Edinburgh show. I found a comedian who I think is just average.
Yeah.
But is very, very confident. And then I thought they got through a whole Fringe with that level of confidence. And then the same with books. And the same with podcasts because you're always like second and triple guessing yourself. These guys are just farting out anything out their mouth and we're like, oh, should we say the word obese?
I know.
I want to become almost like the manosphere but for weird women in this podcast.
Yes, good. Weird-womenosphere, we'll call it.
Well, I've been looking at all our rivals in the podcast charts.
I love this.
We're the only women that aren't
go on.
Well, hosting a podcast with our husband or Huns.
Okay, yeah.
We're the only two very mentally ill people.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about this morning. So there was a clip on this morning this week. You know, I had to quit watching This Morning.
You used to love watching This Morning.
Yeah,
that's where you got your news.
I was like a dog barking at cars going past the window. So I had to stop watching it because I thought it's not a good way to start my day.
Yeah.
But I saw a clip on social media where the hosts of This Morning were mocking this woman who's got an AI boyfriend.
Oh,
Let's say the boyfriend's called Spencer or something.
Yeah, it would be Spencer. The upper class, they always get in.
But they were really, like, Cat Delia was trying to like hide her laughter and stuff. And I thought, what harm is it to anyone? Same with men who have sex dolls. A lot of them are autistic people. What harm is it to someone to have a AI boyfriend or even though I know AI is terrible, or to have a doll as a girlfriend? And I wish Schofield had gone under that amount of scrutiny, which you're fine to say now. Or
I wish Schofield got
Prince Andrew.
AI. What about Prince Andrew?
Well, when they were talking about Prince Andrew after he'd been arrested, and it's like the Queen's paid 12 million of our money to cover it up.
Yeah.
Alison Hammond was going, oh, I don't think they should have arrested him on his birthday, bab.
But they humanised the bab.
That's my Birmingham accent.
Boston. They're humanizing Prince Andrew, but they're not humanizing this person who has an AI boyfriend.
Well, a big part of this morning is to get on mentally ill people, vulnerable people who don't know about how media operates, or benefits claimants, or like one time they got on this woman who she went to jail for smuggling like a large amount of drugs. But when they interviewed her, she was like dumb as a box of hair. So she really didn't know.
No.
And I felt like they got her on just to. It's almost like throwing rotten tomatoes at someone.
That kind of is what This Morning is, and a lot of ITV's daytime input is.
But that's why I don't like it. And then the presenters are these really anodyne, boring personalities who seem nice.
Yeah.
They're the most sinister people, apart from Dermot O'Leary, he's really nice.
Yeah, or Fern. I used to love Fern.
Yeah, man. Remember when she tweeted me?
Yeah.
Love Fern Britain.
Love for Fern Britain, yeah.
Love Dermot. Thought it was funny when Eamon went rogue.
And he did, didn't he? He really did. Eamon went very like that man on your estate. Because men don't have menopause, but he hits me as some sort of like, what's the male equivalent of menopause?
It's actually called andropause.
Andropause, really?
Yeah, I think it's where your testosterone goes down.
Right, and he got.
But I think Eamon just realised there's not much time left on Earth.
And he's really going rogue.
Astrologically, we're in the age of Aquarius, which means people do go rogue. Like Luigi Mangione, that happened after the age of Aquarius started.
And Eamon. I love that we're putting Eamon and Luigi Mangione.
Yeah. That was wild.
So tell me about the AI woman. They
were laughing at her, and I just thought, I wish you did this more for the royals rather than get those royal bootlickers on, like Camilla Tominey.
I know.
They're always like, oh, did you know the Queen during the wartime she took her rations along with everyone else? Do you know those kind of clips?
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw Shane, Daniel Byrne and Killian and all that did a parody of those clips. Yeah. Irish comedians. Because in Ireland, people have a more rational view of the royals.
We don't see her as our grandmother. And like my dad is English, so like I get sent like gifts of soldiers running with poppies and stuff like that. My dad is very England-pilled, including not so much the royals. Because my granddad wasn't into the royals, he would always shout out parasites. But like, so I've never had a massive love for the royals. Diana now, when Diana died, my dad did cry. 31st of August. You see, I remember, it's seared in my head. It was on a Sunday. It was the day before school went back. I got up on the telly, and I think it was ITV, because I was expecting like children's TV to be on, but there was just a man in a news centre crying over, and I was like, Princess Diana, and I didn't know who she was. I'd never heard of her before. I thought she was like Princess Peach or something out of like, I was just like, all right, this is a princess. So I went into Dad, because I was like, Dad's English, he's going to like princesses. Went into him, and I opened up the door and I was like, Dad, Princess Diana died. And then he started crying. He goes, not her, not now. And I'm like... like then. He's like, not now. But yeah, so like that was my understanding of, like, I only found out who Princess Diana was when she died. What about you? What was your
Very different.
Yeah.
So I was camping. My dad took me and my two brothers camping. And then the next morning, my dad had a little van because he was a mechanic.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, Dad was in the van listening to the radio, and we were playing with these two little Protestant children that had sort of like Englishy, Scottishy accents.
Yes.
And
they sound like they're out of Balamory.
yeah, and they were like, "Oh, Diana's dead," and we were like, "Who?" And then we went to our dad, and he was like, "Well, that's Diana did." And the way my dad was about the royals, he would, whenever they came on TV, he would go, "You see them there? You see the wee Princes William and Harry?" And I'd go, "Yeah," and he'd go, "They will never marry you because you're a Catholic." And they hate us. So that was how we grew up. And my great gran met the Queen. I think the Queen, there was like a boat setting sail for somewhere. You know, Scottish people would move away, far away to get work. Yeah. And the Queen was there. And for the rest of her life, my great granny said, she was a bitch. So that's pretty much my family. It's always been so straightforward that the royals are parasites and they hate Catholics.
Yeah.
And then so it was really confusing when the Queen died, because obviously I live with an Irishman and he was just like pissing himself laughing at all the pageantry and stuff. Yeah. But then my agent kept saying, please don't post any of your feelings about the Queen on social media. This is a difficult time. People's feelings will be sensitive. I now look back on it and I really regret I didn't post more stuff that was against the royals, because it's scary when English people shout you down about it.
I found it really scary in a way being in England when she died, because
it's really disgusting.
Even when Philip died, I remember like there was big billboards.
I was with a royalist when Philip died.
I was like, that's someone's boyfriend. Like, if my friend's boyfriend died, I wouldn't even have that much emotion. Never mind like the Queen's boyfriend.
But also, if you look up Prince Philip's top quotes, they're incredible. It's not like reading like Aristotle's best quotes or anything. No. So one time Prince Philip was taken to a hospital for recovering anorexics. And
why would anyone think that's a good idea?
I need to find this. I need to find this quote.
Do. But I found when the Queen died, I went into a Greggs in a service station, and they had her up on all the, like, instead of telling you how much the sausage rolls were, it said how sad they were that the Queen was dead, and that information wasn't good to me. I needed to know how much the sausage rolls were.
Right. So
show me the quotes.
In 2002, Prince Philip made a controversial joke to a blind woman with a guide dog in Devon, asking, "Do you know they have eating dogs for the anorexic now?"
What? I mean, look, we should play a game of Ricky Gervais or Prince Philip. That would be amazing. Yeah, Ricky Gervais' new tour, Prince Philip's Life.
But every time I feel so when Prince Philip died, I was at my hairdresser's. She's an amazing woman. She's from Essex, so that would be very royal loving territory.
Yeah.
And she'd put on like heart radio, and every song that came on, it was like "My Heart Will Go On" by Celine Dion.
My gosh.
She's like, "Oh, Philip's up there, listening to that."
Missing his wife.
And she was like, "Come on, Fern, aren't you moved?" And she was just winding me up with every song, going, "Come on now, back for good."
That's crazy.
It's so crazy, because you just think, do you not know the royals have just the most utter contempt for working class people?
I would have contempt if I was a royal and like
I'm very on Prince Harry's side, by the way.
I would have absolute contempt for everybody.
I think just don't have them be funded by us and let them live as aristocrats in their houses.
They could do reality TV shows and stuff.
But I mean, it does show the big difference between the English and the Irish and Scottish.
Yeah. Where do the Welsh play?
I think they'd be a bit of a mix now.
Because I'd feel weird as a Welsh person.
Because Welsh
the
people
whole point
are...
of the Prince of Wales seems a weird thing of like the son of the monarch.
Welsh people voted for Brexit.
I know, it's hard. I don't know.
Even though the EU funded like their community centres in Rill and things like that.
My Welsh friends are all comedians, so I don't have any proper actual Welsh friends.
Do you mean just Morgan?
Yeah, my Welsh friends.
Yeah.
My one Welsh friend. I've never asked his opinion on the Royals, but
I think I'm guessing he'd be against it. But anyway, there's such massive inequality in England, and we're fine with having a man with a golden bejeweled hat lecture us on stuff.
I saw someone say something online that like, do you remember all the? Well, you wouldn't remember because we weren't alive back then. But in the 19th century, there was a lot of philanthropy. There was a lot of like people building libraries with their names on it and shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Really cool stuff that rich people did for the good of the society. And apparently that was because the French had guillotined all of the rich people like 50 years before. So the rich people were afraid of the poor people and were doing nice things, and now they don't have that fear.
I've heard that's why posh rich people in the UK, they'll drive like beat up Volvos and stuff, and compared to like in America, people are flashy with their wealth in a way that's quite vulgar because they never had a revolution. Yeah,
did Britain really? What Oliver Cromwell? Is that what we're talking? What was the?
I don't know. I don't know anything about history. That was going to be one of the talking points I brought in today.
Really?
Yeah, my school didn't have a history department. And then I was saying it to my partner, and he was like, "Yeah, but you could read books, but then you don't know where to start because there's so much history.
History is so big.
Where do you start?" I just pick things that I like the history of abortion. I like that.
Did you learn? So when I was in primary school in Ireland, we learned about history, but it was a lot of like legends of Ireland. So the salmon of knowledge was taught in.
That's not history.
I know it isn't history. I find that.
What, like the land of Tiernanog, where and the guy falls off the horse and ages overnight.
Exactly. Or
that happens to me whenever I stop getting Botox. I always think of that Irish myth.
I know more about the civil war between fairies and humans than I know about the actual Irish civil war.
No, this just sounds like a season of True Blood. What did we do for history? Oh, we just did World War II.
I did World War II. We called for the emergency in Ireland.
But then we didn't have history at my school. We just had modern studies, which is what they call politics in Scottish schools.
Okay.
And geography.
Did you?
I didn't do geography.
I did. In history, I had to do a project, right, on a piece.
You had history at your school?
Yeah.
Gosh.
We had a gym. It was a good school. It was a good school. But we had Miss Lawler, I think. She was a cool teacher. But I had to do you pick a project, you pick a thing that you want to learn more about, and then you have to go to the library and do your own research. It's all about learning what secondary sources I can't remember what a secondary source is and a primary source. And so I studied up. There was an internment camp in a town near me in World War II, the emergency. And Ireland was neutral, still is neutral. The coolest thing about Ireland is like we have neutrality because we're such a small country. There's just no point in getting involved. And what would happen is when the Germans bombed Belfast, the Irish government would send up fire engines and stuff, and if a person from, is it the Allied side is the good side, isn't it? Because it sounds like Allies is good. So if it was from the Nazi side and you landed in Ireland, because we're a neutral country, we're not going to like imprison you, but we're going to put you in a camp. You can keep your clothes. You can also keep your bit of cyanide or whatever you have with you to kill yourself if you want to. Like, you were a political prisoner. And they allowed them to go to dinner dances at the weekends. So they would go out to dinner dances and start riding all the Irish women. And then, when the war finished, a lot of the lads who were in the internment camps just stayed in Ireland because they'd started a family and stuff.
Oh.
And there was this celebrity Nazi. He had a big scar on the side of his face. And Irish people were just like, ooh, he's cool. He's from like a different country. And he just stayed in Ireland for a couple of years and lived in a big house. But if you were on the good side, they sent you straight up to Belfast so you could be free and do whatever you liked. So it was neutral, but kind of a little bit not neutral. And then the Germans bombed Dublin as an act of like a warning against the Irish to go like keep really neutral, stop with this helping. So that was what I did my project on. Anyway, why did I bring it to there?
Did you have any inspirational teachers?
Yeah, Miss Lawler was a good. Do you know what? I'm going to be really ashamed of myself if I've forgotten her name. But she was young. I know her first name. Her first name was Nessa. So yeah, but she was inspired. I had a really good teacher who died. He died while we were in school. His name was Father Hipwell, and he was like he was a debate teacher.
You had debating?
Yeah, well, we did until Father Hipwell died. Then
right.
No longer, no more debating. But he was also he was like the best priest I've ever met.
Really?
Yeah. What he would do is on a Thursday we had this thing called Zeus Club, which is a bit like Scouts but not quite Scouts. And he would just pull the handbrake down of his car, and he would say, "Right, kids, push my car around the community centre and I'll time you." And we had hours of fun doing that. We would just push his car around the community centre and try and beat the time that we had before. Yeah, he was a cool guy.
We never, I didn't have any inspirational teachers.
Did you not? I had really good teachers because considering how difficult I was, I look back and I'm like, they're champs. You'd know inspirational.
I had an English teacher that sent me a get well soon card when I was in the mental unit.
That's lovely.
That was really nice.
That's so
and apparently
nice.
she said to one of my friends went back to teach there.
Yeah.
And she said, I still remember Fern Brady's essay about Lolita. It was the best essay.
That's
so
cool.
she was nice. But I didn't have any inspirational ones. But there was teachers I had where I thought, even as a teenager, I thought, we shouldn't be left alone with you. Because they were so... the way they behaved, you just wouldn't get away with behaving like that if you worked with adults.
What do you mean?
Like, did you never have teachers that would just be like, "Now, class, we're going to start, and now, please be quiet, please be quiet," and then
All
just
the
like
time.
slam the door, and you were like, like because I transferred schools. For sixth year, I self-transferred. This didn't come from my parents. This was from me because I'd kept saying to my parents, one of my teachers is having alcohol withdrawal seizures in class. I didn't call it alcohol withdrawal seizures because I didn't know that was what it was. This is in hindsight. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
But because Catholic schools prioritise the teachers being Catholic over anything like passing DBS checks or having any level of sanity, it meant that all our teachers came from a place called Coatbridge, which is like rough as arseholes, sorry. This maths teacher...
Yeah.
He talked like this, right, children, we're going to do maths. And then he would start to get annoyed at us. And this thing would happen where he would be like, "Be quiet, children, be quiet." And then his eyes would roll back into his head. He would scramble for a flask, a hip flask, drink from it. And I noticed that the eye rolling would stop. And he would write things back to front. Everything was misspelled. So I was going home and saying to my parents, and they were just like, just not arsed about it.
Yeah.
Whereas I think if you've got posh parents, they're like, well, we're not paying school fees for this. I'm going to go right down there and sort it out. But I just thought, this isn't right, having teachers that can't spell.
Yeah.
So I moved to a posher state school.
And how was that? How was
Awful.
I thought so. Do you know?
Because then I went from being the posh one at my shit school to the common one at a posh school. And I fell in with
you up for university. Well,
I got into uni in fifth year because I was Brady.
Yeah.
And then my parents wouldn't let me go to uni because they were like, she's too immature. But then they kicked me out the next year. So I don't really understand the logic.
No, there was no logic.
But I went to a posh state school. And then I remember having an argument with with my English teacher there because she said that she sent her kids to a private school. And I said, well, why do you work in the state school system? I was such a little cunt at school. I went, why do you work in the state school system but pay into another system? And she said, you're a reverse snob.
You're a reverse snob?
Yeah, which I don't buy into as a term.
Anything with reverse on it, I never
Reverse
buy.
snobbery doesn't have any power to change societal structures.
No.
But it was good that I managed to wind her up. But I got kicked out of a class as well. This was a teacher told me that I should become a comedian, but he was saying it in a really angry way.
Yeah.
He kicked.
Curse you to a life.
He was our science teacher, and we were doing stuff about reproduction, and I asked if a lady had sex with a monkey, would it make a monkey baby?
Yeah.
And he said no. And then I said, if a lady had sex with a snake, would it make a snake baby?
I love the way you're referring to these people ladies.
Yeah. And I think that the third time I asked, I got kicked out.
What was your third one?
I can't remember, but I did think that it could be a thing. But yeah, he hated me. But he did say, you should become a comedian and I will be your manager.
Wow.
But he didn't like me.
I love it. Considering the biology of a snake, it would be very hard to have sex with a snake.
Just put the whole snake up your fanny.
You think that's the way?
Yeah. That makes it sound like I've got a really long fanny, and because I'm tall, my fanny goes so much higher than others. But I think it's just normal. So I think it's quite
Your fanny is a normal size.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got that.
A good size, I would say.
A good size.
But you know something that depresses me that I found out? I've always been really happy about not having obviously for all the reasons it's amazing not to have them, but also I was like, I'm always gonna have a tight puss, and then I found out that it doesn't matter. It gets looser anyway.
How though? With gravity, what? How does
just everything's gonna get looser?
Oh my gosh, I've been told medically
it's not gonna be busted.
No. Okay, good.
Because it's not going to be... I keep... My friends that have babies, I keep wanting to ask them...
about their vagina.
Well, how did it get torn? But even if you have a cesarean, your fanny loosens.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you don't have a baby... I think there's... Yeah. If you don't have a baby, your fanny's going to loosen. That's cool.
Oh, you know how you love Take a Break?
Yeah.
There was a story, and so I always thought I would like to... have a cesarean so that the baby doesn't come out my fanny.
Yeah.
Now I've totally flipped sides, and I'm so confident about my vagina that I would do vaginal birth better than anyone.
Why do you think that?
I just think because I've got such good endurance from the marathon training, and because I can deadlift a lot. And because I'm quite. I think if you're a sexually confident woman, I think I'll just be because I'm in touch with my fanny.
Yeah.
I would just be I'd just be calm. I'd know when to relax. I'd know when to push. I'd just be so in tune with things.
Right. Gary, I don't know why.
Sorry, I was getting ready to be
I know that you were just letting it slide out or whatever. But I feel like being your mate and knowing how you are with marathons and stuff, there's a part of me that really wants you to get pregnant so I can get voice notes off you and WhatsApps going, what the fuck is this? Why did I sign up to this?
Yeah.
Give it back.
Yeah, I was saying to my partner, I was like, shall we have a baby?
Yeah.
And he was like, but like, I didn't mean it. And he was like, there is no way I would ever want to see you pregnant or giving birth. He said, I can't even imagine how bad it would be.
No.
I saw my neighbour give birth, by the way.
Whoa.
Well, she was sort of halfway through.
What? She was halfway through giving birth?
I definitely told you about this at the time because it was mental.
Tell me about it.
Oh, it was amazing. Basically, I had these really lovely neighbours during lockdown, and we got to know each other because of lockdown.
Yeah.
And they were both actors, and then they were having a baby, and I kept saying to my partner, we might have to help deliver the baby. Like, I said that for like 5 months. I was like, we might have to go and help, and he just didn't acknowledge it or say anything. Then one night we got a knock at the door, and her partner was like, it's happening, can you come and look after her? They had like a toddler.
Oh my god.
So we went over and we just heard like
Oh god.
from upstairs, and she's like a really well-spoken, like sweet woman.
Yeah.
And he was frantically like had the packed bag and stuff, and he said later that me and Connor just sat quite upright at the dining room table as if we were on a blind date, because we didn't know what to do. And then she like crawled into the living room like, and we were like, oh my god. And she was like, oh, hello. And then she started to do it again, and she crawled to the front door like, and then she looked over her shoulders.
Like
she went out.
Nutri-Bullet. She sounds like
as she got to the door, there was like an Uber there because obviously you can't get a fucking ambulance anymore.
Yeah.
She was like, bet you never thought you'd see me like this. And went, it was so good.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. I really miss them. They were so sound.
Oh, well, I hope they're all doing well.
She was in I May Destroy You for a little bit.
That's a good TV show.
That's like my favourite show ever. But Michaela Cole is making a new thing now.
What's it about?
She's I can't remember. I would watch anything she does because I think she's a genius. I actually think I May Destroy You should have got much more, even though it was critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
I just think more people should worship her.
Yeah, I get you. They do.
Yeah, but there's some programs that we won't mention here where people are like, whoa, it's so good. And I'm like, not compared to I May Destroy You.
Yeah.
And something I was thinking about yesterday is the only time I feel like I've seen the London that I live in represented on TV.
Is I May Destroy You?
Well, no, it's things that Black Londoners make. So I May Destroy You, and there was a really good show called Mood. I think I told you to watch it.
Yeah.
It's on iPlayer still. Mood is set in East London, and it's about a grumpy girl, and she gets kicked out of her mum's house, sets fire to her ex-boyfriend's house, and you're like, oh, why is she so cranky? And then she becomes an escort, right?
Yeah.
And it's got musical interludes in it. Now, when I hate musicals.
You do.
But it's amazing.
You do. Yeah. That must be good.
I think you'd like it.
I'll watch it.
But both those shows, that's the only time where I've been like, oh, this looks like the London I live in. Because a lot of stuff is very like Richard Curtisified. And
it's very, a lot of it is like Oliver Bonus London.
Yeah,
Do you know
even
what I mean?
Lena Dunham's new thing. By the way, I'm rewatching Girls again, but her newer thing, because she moved to London when she was like a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
Did you ever end up watching that?
I watched most of it.
Yeah, it's just not. It's just. I couldn't get into it.
She's incredible.
But she's a genius.
She's a genius, yeah.
And I don't care that everyone in Girls was like the daughters of rich people. She still made short films at uni.
That's how good Girls is, that I don't care about the nepotism. There's so much of it.
What's your favourite episode of it?
My favourite episode is the bottleneck episode where she's interviewing is he an artist?
American Bitch. He's an author.
He's an author. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I didn't understand that episode the first time I watched it, and I saw loads of people getting excited about it. But I'm getting shivers thinking about it. People used to do these really good detailed breakdowns of girls' episodes. So once I read about the analysis of that episode and then went back and watched it, like the final shot where she's walking away from his apartment and Rihanna's playing, and then loads of women are walking in the opposite direction, filing into his apartment.
Yeah.
And it's basically saying loads more women.
This will happen to
This will just keep happening to more and more women.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible.
My favourite episode of Girls is the one where Marnie leaves her marriage and she doesn't realise Charlie's a heroin addict.
That's a really revered one as well.
Well, because I love when she bumps into Charlie and he has a different accent.
And his hair is all, he looks...
But because he might have changed his accent in real life, but I also think it's about the feeling you get when you see someone that you haven't seen in years and you think that you are misremembering them because they've changed so much. Yeah, there's just so much good stuff. Can I talk about the campaign to get Britain reading?
Yeah.
Sounds shit. So there's a campaign to get Britain reading, and my favourite guy, Richard Osman, is backing it. I got asked to get involved in the campaign. Loads of authors that I met in the course of doing my first book are backing it. But then I was talking about it to my partner, and I was like, I don't know if there was ever a golden age of reading when I was growing up, because I remember being on the school bus and this boy being like, oh, look at the wee lassie reading our book and making fun of me. And the only other person that seemed to read was the other autistic kid. People would pull the book out of his hands and rip it up, and it was so hard to see. So I didn't have other friends that read.
I had a friend that brought in a book called The Onion Girl into primary school, and it was a chick lit book. It was her mother's book, and there was a sex scene in it. And she would just keep reading the sex scene over and over again. But I thought it was literally about a woman made of onions having sex with people. And I was like, what? Because all she was reading was the sex scene. So I was like, this is an Onion Girl.
Did you read that Judy Blume book when you were a teenager?
No, I never read Judy Blume. I should have though.
Well, she had one about periods.
Yeah, is it me and Margot or God? Is it you? Sorry.
You having a stroke?
Yes, I am, yeah.
Is it me or God, Margaret? You?
I'm trying to recall the book.
Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret.
Thank you very much. Is it me, God?
Well, that was a book all about being jealous that your friends are starting their periods.
That's great.
But I started my period so early, and and it's I was at primary school, and then I remember being on a school trip in France, and the most popular girl that bullied me started her period, and she was 14. What a fucking loser. And she started crying on a canoe, and I was like, Tampax jammed up my fanny.
And that's what I feel like Tampax is made for, is canoeing.
She cried because
adverts, it's canoeing.
She cried because the French teacher splashed water on her and she got her fanny pad wet. Give me a break. Who wears a fanny pad anyway? I hate them. Yeah.
I remember fanny pads.
Cancel me. But then I'll flip reverse it and say bad for the environment.
Which fanny pads are?
I don't know, I'm just guessing.
They probably are. They probably, yeah. But fanny pads, I had a fanny pad in a bag as an emergency fanny pad in my school bag. And once I was mitching off school, so that's bunking off school on a quarry. And this lad had my school bag at the bottom of the quarry, and he opened up my school bag and took out the fanny pad, and he said, "What's this? A mattress?" And I nearly died. Because that was the best. It was quite a big fanny pad. It was one of those nighttime ones.
I used to buy them out of vending machines when I was 8 or 9, just in anticipation. I was just I can't wait. And then I just put them in my pants I'm a woman now.
Oh my God, a woman was babysitting me, and I thought I had my period, but I think I just scratched myself.
Jesus Christ.
How does
How itchy was your fanny? Fucking bear claw at your fanny.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus Christ.
I know. Look, I don't know. But I went down and I burst open the sitting room door and she was just shifting her boyfriend. And I went, man, I feel like a woman. And she was like, what? And she ran up the stairs and looked in the toilet because she thought that's where I perioded, but I didn't. It was on my bed. But it was definitely, then she told me that wasn't a period, that I'd scratched myself too much.
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, okay.
Wow.
Wow. How did we end up talking about this? Reading literacy. It was literacy.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, because you were saying about that Onion book.
yes.
I met up with CMB the other day from my favourite podcast, Here Comes the Guillotine. It's now gone. And we were saying... He said, I wish people knew how much mental stuff is in books and that would get more people reading. And I'd just been thinking that the same thing that morning because I did that with the last book I wrote. I just thought, no one's going to read this anyway. Comedians all have ADHD and are all stuck on Instagram.
That's true.
So just put the maddest things you can think of. Anything you're too embarrassed for people to know, put it in the book.
In a book they'll never read.
Yeah, they'll never read it. And CMB was talking about different books that have crazy things in them. And he was like, if only people knew.
Yeah, because that's the glory about books. It's like, I used to read quite a lot of books when I was a kid. And then I think smartphones came along and I just literally stopped reading.
Yeah.
But the book that you told me about, The Benefactors by Wendy Erskine, it's
like, been nominated for the Women's Prize for Fiction, and I hope it gets loads more.
But it's like one of the best things I've consumed.
Yeah,
like
it's
films
great.
Or anything. I was just like, this is.
It's so good.
It made me feel like a kid again.
She looks cool as well.
Does she?
Did you not look at the back of the book?
I don't judge a book by its cover.
Okay.
But like
that's not true because you saw the design, the potential design for my new one, and said it looked like a fanny disease.
It did, yeah. It does.
So you literally judged my book by its cover.
But you asked me to judge that book.
Yeah, we're not going with that design.
Yeah, I didn't think so. You literally were like, "What do you think of this?" And I felt like you didn't like it.
No.
So I was, if you went, "I love this. What do you think about it?" I'd be like, "This is great." I would because I'm a.
No, don't do that.
But I am. I'm that type of person.
But yeah, The Benefactors. You should read it.
It's a very good book. But then again, like, I was like, it's sometimes people listen. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts about love, and I was listening to the New York Times love podcast, and there's comments going, this should be a film. And I get that you can do that with films, but with some books I'm like, this shouldn't be a film or anything.
Yeah. And it's great for authors when their work gets optioned, but not
they get money. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, not everything has to be turned into a film. Like, and especially books about interiority, which so many books are about interiority.
But
how do you get around that without having a shit voiceover?
Exactly. Or even like text messages and stuff. Like, whenever I see a text message on a TV show,
it's got a bit better.
But it reminds me of Hollyoaks. I felt like it was
I was going to say Hollyoaks. That's mad.
There must have been a big storyline about someone being cyberbullied or something like that.
Yeah. Do you remember the Hollyoaks late night special that was soft porn?
It was always soft porn.
Yeah.
It was after dark.
It was so disturbing.
I know. There was lots of... There was so much incest involved in Hollyoaks.
No, that was Brookside.
No, it was Hollyoaks as well. There was twins that were like separated at birth and then met each other, and then one became obsessed. It was...
That's like kissing your reflection in the mirror.
No, it is,
Can I just say, have I told you I don't like twins?
Just in general.
Yeah.
Really?
I've got a couple of friends that are twins, but I didn't know that when I met them.
And you would have.
But then when you find out that they have a twin, it's so creepy.
What's creepy about it?
Apparently, it's like a natural evolutionary thing that our brains are suspicious of it.
Whoa.
Because it's not good to see like a slight duplicate of another.
Because it's confusing to the eye? Or
I don't know why. I just feel freaked out by twins.
what about John and Edward? Jedward?
Yeah. Well, they're unusual guys, aren't they? But I also, at the same time, Jedward to me are like Courtney Love in that people judge them by their eccentricity and not by the content of what they're saying. They're whistleblowers.
The content of what they're saying, they've never been wrong. I'm being genuine about it.
Remember when Gemma Collins was like, I'm hosting them for a roast at my house, and then they were in the hot tub like, listen, right, Louis did this to us.
I know, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. But you're so right about Courtney Love and Jedward. Is there anyone else like that?
Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah. These are all absolute
Me with the name change thing, which is still ongoing.
You put yourself in Sinead O'Connor.
Well, no, what I mean
You're
is...
ripping up a picture of the Pope. You've pissed off a few women.
a few trad wives.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much for joining Alison and I today on Ignore That Feeling. Please like and subscribe. We would love to get to 1 million followers on YouTube, because do you know something? The closer we get to 1 million followers, the bigger and better our guests are. Yeah, that's not true. That's not true at all.
Ignore that feeling.